I've talked about Patriot Mobile's commitment to faith, family, and freedom. But have you made the switch yet? Support your values with your cell phone without sacrificing quality or service. Worried about coverage? Don't be. Patriot Mobile uses all 3 major U.S. networks. If you have cell phone service today, you can get service with Patriot Mobile. Think switching is hard? It's not. Their 100% U.S.-based team can activate your phone within minutes. They even have a contract buyout. So go to patriotmobile.com/Kirk25 or call 972-PATRIOT today. Promo code Kirk25 for a free month of service. I want to talk about this idea of deflation, right? So we've known that this has been a dog of a problem for so many countries, like Japan went through a massive deflationary crisis. I think that's what people think they're getting, actually, when they think Trump's going to fix the economy, Trump's going to fix what Biden started. I think they think that they're getting deflation, but that's bad. So what we really need to do is, you're talking about the supply side shock. President Trump's talking about 16, 17, 18, 19 trillion dollars of investment into the economy. And then that starts boosting wages. You get a tightening job market when you deport illegal immigrants, when you have a net migration outflow out of the country, right? So you tighten the labor supply, then you get wages going up, you get investment, you get this 1-year amortization, which is in the accelerated amortization of things like, a restaurant wants to build a kitchen and they can amortize all that in a single year, or bigger investments. When are we going to start seeing that supply side shock? Because I know $19 trillion coming to the economy. If that materializes, that's going to be huge, but it's going to take a little while. How do you predict the next 6 to 12 months going?
It actually isn't taking a while. In fact, it's underway right now. If you look at capital spending this year, it's pretty much up by almost as much as we saw all 4 years for Joe Biden.
Wow.
There's been a capital spending boom because people want to build factories and create jobs in the U.S. And in fact, it was one of my favorite little footnotes about the State of the Union address. I guess we're supposed to call it something else, the joint session of Congress. But when we were editing the final draft, one of the nerdy things that the economic team asked the president to stick in was that whenever we pass the big, beautiful bill, we're going to make the accelerated depreciation, the expensing of new equipment and new factories, retroactive to his address that night. And then what we saw was that there was an explosion of investment already because people knew we were going to pass the big, beautiful bill, and we gave them this massive tax incentive to do it. And so it's really underway, a big part of it. But one of the things that happens in terms of the big wage effects that we're going to see is that people tend to get their wage adjusted if they're not changing jobs in January. And so there's going to be really big salary increases. They're already underway this year, but when do you see January? And the other thing is, because it takes a while for the IRS to do the forms, the no tax on tips, the no tax on overtime, a lot of people aren't going to see that until April when they get their refunds. And so the bottom line is there's a lot of really good after-tax news coming for next year, and it won't be deflationary. The way you get deflationary is, you remember they called it the new normal under Obama. You just can't grow very much, and you got like really, really low price inflation, even deflation. Well, that's because they put a straitjacket around the economy. We're not doing that, and so we won't have deflation. We won't have low growth like that.
Well, no, and I think you agree with Scott Bessent. He says that he thinks the U.S. economy will likely substantially accelerate Q1 and Q2 of next year. I'm going to put you on the spot here, Kevin. You can feel free to defer. I know this isn't necessarily in your portfolio, but I saw Stephen Moran. He went on, I don't remember, one of the networks, and said that he believes that deportations, mass deportations, are deflationary, meaning they actually do drop prices or reduce the rate of inflation potentially. Do you think that the U.S. economy still needs 1 to 1.2 million green cards, including H-1Bs and all that stuff, given AI is coming down the pike? We got this job insecurity with new grads. 30 seconds. I know it's not enough time to answer it, but do your best.
Yeah, I'm for legal immigration that President Trump thinks is the appropriate amount, and I haven't talked to him lately about what the appropriate amount right now is, and so I don't have an exact number for you. But I think that stopping illegal is one of the great accomplishments of any president ever, and he really has pretty much stopped it in its tracks. And people told us that would cause a recession, but it didn't, right? Because it gave the jobs back to native-born people. And in fact, more than 100% of the jobs this year come from native-born people.
Amen.